Hi, my name is Steve Stine, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about my new guitar course, Modes for Guitar. In this course, we're going to break down each of the 7 modes and then build them back up, learning exactly how they work and what is unique to each one. We're going to also learn how to apply them in realistic musical situations. We will break down the theory behind the modes and then break down how the modes interact with the chords and the key that they exist in. We're also going to be looking at the relationships between each chord within the major scale and its corresponding mode, both melodically and harmonically. We're going to learn these modes and how to improvise using a bunch of different kinds of scenarios. The first one's what I call common key soloing or linear soloing. That's when all the chords correspond to the proper key and everything makes sense. This would be any song where all the chords fit and everything works the way that it should. The next scenario is what I call the pentatonic expansion. And this is where we start with a pentatonic idea and then expand it to become the desired mode that we're looking for. The next scenario is called the chordal approach, or what I refer to as the modal multiple choice. And this one's kind of fun because you start with a chord, and then you make a choice as to which mode you want to play with that chord. Then the next chord might come up, and then you choose a different mode relative to that one. So even though all the chords might fit in the same key, you're actually choosing different modes to get different desired sounds. And so with this one, your options expand as far as you're willing to study. We will also be looking at the non-key chordal approach as well. And this is where you have chords that don't make sense together. So you need to devise some sort of plan on how to solo over each chord or certain groups of chords at a time. And of course, we will be looking at how to use the modes in real-world situations. This is really important to me that you learn this stuff because along the way of studying all this, you're still going to need to be able to use this information as quickly as possible to really enhance your soloing abilities. Obviously, sometimes you don't have time to think about all of your theory, and you got to make a choice in a very short amount of time. So I'm going to show you some great tricks and some shortcuts for the modes. I'm going to show you how to apply those when you're playing over blues or rock or metal, or pop, or even country music. We will compare all the modes in each respective key, and then we're going to study them, we're going to put them up and study them parallel as well. What this simply means is we're going to learn how all the modes fit together in a common manner, but we're going to compare each mode with every other mode to see how they contrast and how they compare to each other, the similarities and the differences between them. We're also going to study each mode grouping, which means we're going to compare the major modes to each other as well as the minor modes. When soloing with modes, there are pitches that match everything perfectly, but some of the notes add great amounts of tension to the sound, and this can be good or it can be bad depending on how you use these things. So we're going to look at those tension notes and we're going to learn how to use them, and then we're also going to learn situations where we want to avoid those to make them effective in our playing. We're also going to be looking at some creative arpeggios that we can use in our solos that make some of those notes really shine in our playing. I'm also going to show you how to avoid things when you want to play with a modal sound but you're not sure exactly what to do, so you can still make your solos sound much more creative and melodic utilizing that modal element, but maybe you just can't define which mode that you want to be in. So there's a bunch of different shortcuts I'm going to show you with that as well. During our study and memorization of the fretboard, we're going to be looking at stock or closed positions, as well as what we call spread fingerings. So you have a variety of different visual modal shapes that you can use in your memorization. By the time you're done with this course, you'll be able to identify modes within the songs that you're playing or you're writing. You're going to learn the tools to be able to phrase and apply those modes effectively. And again, when you're in a situation where you're not sure what to do, you're going to have the tools to be able to create a much more melodic and creative solo by simply adding tips and shortcuts that I'm providing for you. I'm really excited about this new course, and I can't wait for you to dig in. Remember, you can obviously get a hold of me through the Guitar Zoom website if you have any questions or comments. I'd be more than happy to help you. Happy practicing, and see you soon at Guitar Zoom.